Hello, fellow classmates and Dr. Sanchez. My name is Angela Ortiz Burke. Welcome to my graduate research project and presentation on the performance review process for the performance management class at Amberton University. The purpose of this student's graduate project is to explain how a performance management system can provide administrative and organizational maintenance for supporting achievement of business goals. Aeropostale Incorporated is the 21st century troubled company that will be used as an example to build a performance system that encourages employee input from the wants and needs of the customers. Additionally, the graduate project is to create and design a system supported by peer-reviewed studies that will improve brand competitiveness and product sales. What the audience should expect from this presentation is an understanding of what performance management is and how it differs from performance appraisal, an understanding of how human resources plays a role in the performance review process, and understand the values and liabilities of a performance management system and performance review, with a question and answer opportunity at the end of the presentation. The next several slides will provide the overview of Aeropostale Incorporated. Aeropostale is a mall-based clothing retailer specializing in casual apparel and accessories for the younger population. It is headquartered in New York, New York. Their merchandise consists of graphic t-shirts, tops, bottoms, sweaters, jeans, and outerwear offered in sizes extra extra small to extra extra large in both men and women. Women's sizes run from a size 0 to 18, and men's pant sizes run from a 27 by 28 in length to a 42 by 32 in length. Accessory products include, but are not limited to, sunglasses, belts, socks, hats, and hair accessories. The company is named after an airmail company, General Aeropostale, that was the first to fly between South America and France. Aeropostale began as a private label for Macy's department store in 1982. Macy's helped open the first store in 1987. Aeropostale has the power over their product designing, selling, sourcing, and marketing of their brand. Their target market is age 16 to 22 years old. As of January 2016, 745 retail store operations were located across the United States and Puerto Rico, along with 41 stores in Canada. Merchandise is also available via the e-commerce store on the website aeropostale.com. In addition, Aeropostale operates over 350 stores internationally through licensing partnerships. However, in May 2016, Aeropostale closed 113 stores in the United States and all their stores in Canada in an effort to reorganize their finances after a Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing. Aeropostale exited bankruptcy in September 2016 and was able to reopen 500 stores in January 2017 after joining hands with licensing firm Authentic Brands Group and mall operators Simon Property Group and General Growth Properties. According to the text in performance management, to achieve business objectives, encourage development, and build a better bottom line, an organization should properly use their resources in their strategic planning. Aeropostale's short-term business objectives are to decrease inventory turnover days to improve the inventory ratio. The shorter amount of time inventory stays in the store will make carrying costs lower and operations more efficient. They also plan to lessen the risk of low-performing stores by setting up stores in high-traffic locations in outlet centers and malls. Aeropostale's long-term business objectives include staying relevant in the teen retail market and combating the other fast fashion retailers, which caused the financial troubles due to vast sale decline, from $2.4 billion to $1.5 billion in 3 years' time. The revenue decline has had negative impacts on the plans for any development and progress in growth. Aeropostale aims to be a bigger presence in the United States retail market by remodeling stores and investing in opening new store locations. Aeropostale wants to also spread the brand recognition into the international market through opening standalone stores. Adding more stores in other countries will strengthen the customer base. They also wish to increase overall company performance by offering the latest trendy clothing and keeping up to date on clothing collections. Strategic priorities include the mission of the company. This summarizes the current aims and values of a company or organization. It will describe the organization by telling its purpose and the extent of their operations. Aeropostale's mission statement listed in their investment literature is to be the premier apparel destination for young adults. A premier apparel destination explains why they exist and what products are offered. For young adults, explains who are their customer base. Aeropostale does not elaborate on the type of fashion offered. This student believes it could be restated to include the word fast fashion, so it incorporates the company's activities. Fast fashion is defined as trendy clothing sold for a valued price at a high turnover rate. Another strategic priority is the vision. This is a statement developed after the mission that expresses hope for an organization's future state. Aeropostale's vision is to provide customers a retail experience with a focused selection of high-quality fashion and fashion basics at compelling values in an innovative and exciting store environment. A good vision statement should be short enough to be remembered, translate over time, has points of interest, easy to comprehend, and motivating. A list of important characteristics the organization expects all its members to uphold to guide behaviors that will help achieve its goals and fundamental beliefs are a company's core values. Aeropostale's core values are integrity, teamwork, compassion, respect, and accountability. Aeropostale is in the retail industry sect that earns revenue through physical and e-commerce stores. From 2013 to 2016, earnings declined due to the decreased demand for Aeropostale apparel. Aeropostale's financial state over these years reflects the lacking ability to keep up with consumer trends, and as a result, their stock prices experienced declines and its shares were almost delisted on the New York Stock Exchange. It is of this student's opinion if Aeropostale considers different routes to obtain fashion trendy styles, then there will be greater potential for increased sales resulting in higher revenue. Aeropostale is in a state of financial despair. After filing bankruptcy in 2016, they are at high risk for going out of business. Aeropostale is in competition with other organizations such as Abercrombie & Fitch, American Eagle Outfitters, and H&M for desired design and trendy styles. The target market sees an association with the valued price appearing cheap and are losing perception of the Aeropostale brand. Due to the bankruptcy, Aeropostale was forced to close many stores, making them unable to expand. This has left them in the dust of their competitors. An issue Aeropostale has faced is the $15 million loss in a shareholders' lawsuit that convicted them of defrauding shareholder information, which resulted in the stock price dropping by 50%. They also had to defend themselves in several discriminatory lawsuits regarding the Equal Opportunity Act. Now that a general overview of Aeropostale has been given, this student can go into further explanation of the performance review process. Important characteristics to have in a performance review process are strategic congruence, to maintain alignment of individual, unit, and organizational goals. Context congruence, to align the organizational culture with regional culture. Thoroughness, for the evaluation of employees, responsibilities, continuous review, and feedback. Practicality, so the benefits of the system will outweigh the cost. It should have meaningfulness, so that the importance and relevance of the system accents what is the control of the employee. Specificity, to clearly state expectations and directions at all levels throughout the system. Identification of performance, which will distinguish between effective and ineffective behavior and results. Other performance review process characteristics should include reliability, so it can have consistent measurements that are free from error. Validity, to review relevant performance measures that are well-rounded. Accountability and fairness, so the system applies equally to all employees in the organization. Inclusiveness, so the system reflects all concerns of the people affected by the outcome. Openness, for transparency with ongoing performance feedback. Correctability, to create a mechanism that accounts for error in the review process. Standardization, to have a consistent system across the organization. Finally, the review process should have ethicality, so the rater provides evaluation without self-interest. What is performance management exactly? Performance management is a communication and guiding tool made up of an ongoing goal and objective setting process that organizes employee support to achieve organizational strategic goals. Performance management, when optimized, directs employee efforts to result in high performance, which in turn produces better productivity and sustainability for the organization. It ensures individual alignment with the main concerns of the unit and the organization. Performance management produces information for decision-making power used by human resources, develops the strengths and weaknesses of employees, and connects how performance contributes to the organization. Performance management reviews and evaluates past, present, and future performance, so talent can be effectively monitored. In this student's opinion, if Aeropostale can implement a performance system that passes the wants and needs of the customers through employee engagement, then they can successfully improve product sales and brand image. What is performance review? Performance review is typically an annual meeting between an employee and leadership to go over the documented evaluation of past performance. This differs from performance management that is giving feedback all throughout the year on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. The review evaluates strengths and weaknesses in performance expectations rather than assess it against organizational goals. It also gives the opportunity in setting goals for professional development and discusses the state of the employee's job knowledge, skills, and abilities, also known as KSAs. The employee is given monetary and non-monetary incentive to continue performance. Performance management and performance review are both important to have so that an open line of effective communication is established between each team member to give a clear understanding of the system's processes. Both assures upper management that the success of the organization is dependent upon monitoring individual performance. A successful performance management system is a continuous process that includes performance review, sometimes more often than yearly. The performance review identifies an employee's status of results, behaviors, and objectives, but the performance management system explains how to move forward with the data. For this presentation, Aeropostale's roles in performance management are applied over 3 levels: the organization, the manager, and the employee. The organization is responsible for researching suitable methods to gather questionnaire data for feedback. The organization must dedicate their mission to the newest fashion trends for customer satisfaction. They must also create policies and procedures to align with the new mission and vision of fast fashion. The manager's role will be to provide training for the administering of evaluation forms to the sales associates. Managers should have continuous meetings with employees to evaluate the survey information received. A reward system should be set up for sales associates to obtain customer evaluation surveys. This will give the sales associate incentive to obtain the desired information. In addition to appraisal meetings, managers should add progress meetings to keep communication open so the employee and manager can give each other feedback on the status of performance objectives. The role of the employees is to determine credibility of each customer to initiate a feedback evaluation form. Employees should be responsible for forwarding feedback from the survey to the managers. By involving the customer feedback through the employee, companies will know how to make future shopping visits more pleasurable and make decisions on providing more fashionable merchandise choices. Connecting the employee feedback to customer feedback will help a company adjust to the quickly changing customer wants, provides managers information for coaching employees, and bring about innovative ideas. Human resources is a key player in performance management. Human resources is responsible for linking the execution of the performance management system to talent. Human resources defines KSAs needed for training current and future talent, measurements for assessing performance, and makes decisions for salaries and recognition. Human resources keeps job descriptions and duties aligned with company business priorities using the information gathered in the performance management system. The information for performance management is used by human resources for recruitment and hiring decisions. Human resources can allocate funds for training based on requirements of the performance management system. The goals for performance management at Aeropostale is for the system to evaluate performance against financial objectives, increase returns on investment and profitability, to have the means to better analyze fashion trends, and reward employees for addressing and prioritizing negative customer feedback. To connect the performance management review with these goals, Aeropostale can combine employee and customer experience through human resources to create shareholder and customer value. Direct customer feedback successfully communicated up through the company from the employee will be important information for the performance management process to not only promptly acknowledge customer concerns, but check employee performance. Aeropostale must link the customer wants to the production of merchandise. A performance management system will align Aeropostale's new mission of the organization all the way down to the sales associate level. Customer-based questionnaires will provide the desired information to connect the customer with fashion trends. The advantages of performance management implementation for employees is that it will acknowledge and reward past achievements, which will increase employee job satisfaction and influence future performance. Employees will get a full understanding of their job description and expectations for behavior and results. And the employee's performance becomes more competent, allowing a decrease in misconduct throughout the system. For managers, it helps them build the employee-manager relationship by managers being able to gain a better understanding of employees personally. Implementing a performance management system gives managers the ability to identify the good and poor performers on a continuous basis. The performance management system also provides clear expectations for communication and feedback. For the organization, it provides self-insight and enhances development throughout the entire system. Human resources can ensure rewards and compensation are equally distributed through the performance management system, and organizational goals are made clear and linked to employees' actions. Performance management has 6 elements that connect to one another in a never-ending cycle. It starts with prerequisites, then the performance planning. Next is the performance execution, then performance assessment, then performance review, and finally, renewing and recontracting. A sales associate is the job position used as an example for the purpose of this presentation. The first element of the performance management process are the prerequisites. Prerequisites make clear the performance expectations to all levels within the organization. Prerequisites ensure all business units understand how their efforts contribute to the direction towards the company's goals and supports the mission. Prerequisites identify the parameters to each position in a job description. This will inform the employees on what to do and how their skills will be evaluated. Aeropostale should update their mission statement to include fast fashion as a priority. The job description of the retail sales associate should be altered to contain the skills to capture valuable fashion information from customers. Not having knowledge of the company's intended mission, vision, and objectives will not allow the process to move to the second element of the performance management process, performance planning. Performance planning includes the job description, defines satisfactory performance, and works out employee skills that need improvement. The job description outlines what an employee is expected to accomplish. Performance planning makes certain an employee's results and contributions are given direction. Finally, in this stage, a plan should be discussed between leadership and employees on parts of the performance that need to be made better and agree on goals for those areas. For Aeropostale, they will establish satisfactory performance by the marked out objectives needed to be attained, when they should be completed, and how well these objectives are to be achieved. The retail sales associate objectives will include the periodic reporting of customer fashion trend feedback. Now that leadership and employees have a mutual understanding of job expectations, one can move to the third element of the performance management process, performance execution. Performance execution is carrying out job responsibilities and achieving objectives set or developing skill areas identified from the performance planning phase. Employees and leadership work together in performance execution to correct performance problems and keep performance on track. Aeropostale leadership can reinforce the employee behavior that works and coach the employee behavior that does not work. For example, the leadership can provide a customer survey to identify the retail sales associate's clothing knowledge. The next element of the performance management process is performance assessment. Like in performance execution, leadership and employees need to have teamwork in their evaluation efforts. Both employee and leadership measures the applications of KSAs demonstrated in the job performance. Self-assessment holds employees accountable, and leadership assessment determines if employees are meeting goals. Variances between the feedback is an opportunity to address misunderstandings of job expectations. In performance assessment, Aeropostale's retail associates will be administered an online self-review on a periodic basis, so management can examine them at any time and coach progress. Performance review is the fifth element of the performance management process, and the information gathered in performance assessment is talked about in a formal meeting during this phase. Leadership goes over the results of the performance assessment with the employee. Feedback is given on the specified job expectations and objectives established in the performance planning. An overview of the past performance, changes that needs to be made in performance, and future expectations are the valuable information an employee takes away from the performance review meeting. The Aeropostale Retail Sales Associate performance can be rated in their ability to assist the customers in making fashion choices, management of inventory, and feedback. The last element of the performance management process is performance renewing and recontracting. This is the same as performance planning, but adjustments of goals and expectations are made in this phase. It can be utilized to be successful in getting wanted outcomes when the performance management process cycle starts over. Performance renewing and recontracting makes adjustments based on the information gathered from the other parts of the performance management process. Goals are revised to stay compatible with the changes of the business environment. Aeropostale's human resources can make revisions to the Retail Sales Associate job description, job achievement, and skills as the financial state and needs of the company changes. Once these are established, the performance management process begins again with prerequisites. Where does performance information come from? It is important to use more than one source of information to analyze employee performance. It can come from supervisors. They provide measurement of the effectiveness of performance execution against overall organizational objectives. It can also be collected from peers. They can give typical performance information from a daily basis perspective. Subordinates can also provide measurement of supervisor behavior and indicate how well their supervisor understands problems and makes timely decisions to resolve them. Information can also come from the employee themselves. They supply material for the employee perception of how well they are staying on track and compared to their peers in accomplishing performance standards. Customers can be another source of information to be utilized and provide measurement for responsiveness, how well the customer's expectations were met, and personal appearance of the employee. No performance appraisal system can be perfect. It assumes leadership will remain the same for the next review period to evaluate an employee's performance, and that a once-a-year review is sufficient to correct and encourage employees. Leadership has to recall and record from the past year the employee's performance that helped the business unit to advance. It is easy to not be as accurate in the appraisal when this much time has passed. Employees typically report to more than one member of leadership, so this may cause differences in opinion in the performance appraisal. And performance appraisal does not address employee morale and future performance. The consequences of an ineffective performance management system are that it uses bad or inaccurate information for an employee's performance, it lowers employee morale and desire to perform, and the company time and money are carelessly spent. An ineffective system can also increase risk to lawsuits, skew or have unequal standards and ratings, and allow personal biases to interfere with company performance standards, and the rating system will not be well understood. This concludes my presentation for Aeropostale's performance review process. Thank you for listening. It is now open for questions.